Well, welcome back. Out here in a spot and it's a little bit rainy. It's been raining all day and all I have is this little poncho. I had a raincoat and pants and everything in here. I always carry that around, but last time I was up in Minnesota and homie Kevin was there, he flew out from Minnesota and it was pouring that day. So I gave him my rain jacket. I forgot to replace that, but we've got a cheap poncho that should keep us dry for a while. I don't know if I'll be able to get it on in here. Probably not. All right. I gotta put my tag up. Yeah, it's not raining too heavy. We should be able to hang outside for a little while, but I don't know how long that'll last. All right, we're legal. Tag on the pole. Let's get this thing put on before I get soaked. Look at this thing. About as cheap as you can get, and I thought it actually had arms on it, but it does not. Although it's better than nothing. You like my dress? All right, need to get my junk set up a little bit. We do have electric here, which is nice. I picked up something that we'll try to use tonight that I talked about in the last episode, and this is also the first rain adventure with this thing. So it is a little damp right here, but this part isn't perfectly sealed. I was more worried about rain or water coming in the front edge. Good to go. I was thinking about, I have my little tarp that goes with that all-in-one hammock thing I bought. So if I really wanted to, I could probably pop a tarp up between these couple of trees right here, I think. I think we'll do that, get a fire going, see if I can do it anyways. I don't even believe I used the tarp thing on the hammock video, so. And if you think the video looks a little different, since it's raining, I'm gonna use my GoPro for this whole thing. So this is what we've got. Still haven't taken the tags off of it. Let's see, that's the hammock. Suspension system. Bug net. And this is the tarp. There we go, rain tarp. Well, we're set up. I could have probably gone a little bit higher, and it would be nice if I had a way to like get this front stuck out flat. But if I'm sitting in a chair right here, I should still be able to see the fire. I'm just gonna grab I'm gonna get the fire going, and grab a chair and hang out. At least we'll try to get a fire going. Put stuff away. Yeah, it's a whole lot easier trying to set that up than the big giant ones that I've got. Tarps anyways. Should put my boots on too. All right, definitely gonna put my boots on, just so my shoes aren't soaking wet. And grab a chair. Getting warm in this poncho. Doesn't breathe very well, you know. I can see the fire just fine. Definitely want to take this off if I'm going to hang out under here though. Yeah, this ain't too shabby. It's a little noisy. There's a pretty busy road not too far that direction, but what do? It's an empty campground. So yeah, it's beautiful out here, minus the sounds of the semi trucks driving by. It's gorgeous. Fire is firing. Guess I can give you guys a little bit of a weather report. Where's my, oh, can't use my phone because I got that as a light. So I'll have to give you a report later, but I think it's gonna rain most of the night. And it's like 40 something degrees today, middle of December, and then I don't even think it's gonna get below freezing tonight. I think it's like a low of 34 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. It's still surprising to me that we aren't getting any snow. Like, it should be dumping snow right now, but instead it's pouring rain. Still sprinkling a bit. I don't think you can probably hear it on the roof. Not over the heater that's going down there, but It's kind of wet. I put my poncho in the cab of the truck. I put my chair away. Tarp's still up. I think it's going to rain all night, but we'll see. I'll take a look at the forecast and whatnot. But I can dry that out later. It's definitely not going to be dry if I put it in there now. So, put my shoes in a Walmart bag, and we might as well crack our beer for the evening. I also have the back window open. Guess why don't we have a temp check before we pop this open? I don't have my thermometer out. Heater's cranked on low. The cab window's open and that window's cracked open. And currently it is 42 degrees. It's Friday, December 15th, and it's 42 degrees here in Nebraska. The low tonight is only 36. Crazy weather I feel like we're having. It should be dumping snow. It should have been dumping snow all day. But I grabbed this from our local gas station here. It's called Founders. It's from Founders. It's called Four Giants Tropical Treasure. And it's an IPA, a hazy IPA, tropical hazy IPA. I'm not a huge IPA guy, but it's what they had and it was different, so I figured I'd give it a shot. 19 ounces, 7.5%, so it's going to be a little bit strong. And I think that's about all it says on here. 50 IBU, tropical hazy, enjoy fresh, malt beverage. Crack it, pour it, love it. Brewed and packed by Founders Brewery, Grand Rapids, Michigan. But cheers. I don't have my cup with me. It smells like an IPA. See if it makes me sneeze. Maybe. IPAs make me sneeze. Yep. It's alright. IPAs and chocolate. I've said it before, but for all you new folks out there, that's why I don't drink a lot of IPAs. But anyways, y'all, Topper's done great so far. This is the first like real rain test, I feel like, since I've had it. And nothing's coming in. I mean, a little bit damp around the edges over there, but I expected that the way that it's sealed right now. But everything else is good. Like nothing around the edges or anything like that. The outside of this topper has a much bigger lip around the edge compared to the one on the Silverado. So I picked up a hot plate. If you watched the last video, I talked about a hot plate, especially if I'm going to be plugged in. I will have to unplug my heater right now because I don't have like a splitter or a dual outlet or anything, but it's probably not a good idea to run both of these at the same time. But this is the cheapest Walmart brand hot plate I could find. This was $14, probably $15, $16 with tax. I'll see if I can leave a link to this down below. But it's really basic, just a single burner, has a little temp knob on it, and it was the only one they had in stock at my local Walmart. I'm pretty glad I found it. I feel like a bunch of people probably recently bought these for holiday cooking or something, because when I looked online it said they had a bunch of them. Maybe they were in the back, but the shelves were empty, and this one was down the way, not where it was supposed to be, but I found it. So I was pretty happy with that. I suppose I could have opened this earlier and burnt it, but probably a good idea to make sure it works first, right? We got destructions, which I don't think we're gonna need. A short little cord on here. And look at that. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. It's like so some kid can't just plug it in or something. Use our little keychain knife here. I think it's a Kershaw. Got it. In the box she goes. That's it. There ain't much to it. There's a little knob on the front, a couple of lights, and it's off, max, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then there's a little bit after 1, and that's it. So we're gonna try something a little bit different tonight. We're gonna try a burrito thing here. See if we can make a burrito out of something. So what we're gonna try is, I've got a few things in my cooler here. Plate, tortillas. We've got some cheese out of the fridge, habanero and white cheddar cheese. There ain't a whole lot left in there, but it should be enough. We've got a can of Campbell's chunky chili with beans. We're gonna give that a shot. We've got some diced green chilies here, which I think I have a can opener. I'll need a can opener for that one. And some hot sauce, truff hot sauce. This stuff is really good. Made with truffles. And that's all we've got down in there. And over yonder here, what do we have? I've got something else in my food tote that we'll do with this. We've got some cilantro lime rice and some spicy queso Funyuns, which we'll munch on. We're gonna grab our pot and pan set and some silverware, wherever that may be. Way down in the bottom over yonder. There we go. Gotta have that can opener for the green chilies because we're gonna use them. All right, so might want to close this window since it's gonna get cold in here. We're just gonna try to plug this thing in and probably use a pan that's not quite big enough to cook our dinner tonight. But it fits perfectly on there. We'll just drop that stuff over yonder. And we'll just shut our heater off and plug this bad boy in. We've got power, and we're gonna turn her on setting number 3. Well, 3.5. Give her 3.5 there. Let's undo this guy. Maybe give it a second to burn off its oils. It's smoking. I'll just turn that to max. Yeah, that's definitely burning off some oils and whatnot. Not too bad. I think it's burned it all off. We're not smoking anymore. But it's nice and hot. All right, we'll just turn that off for a second. Let her cool down. So what I have for rice here is this Ben's Original Ready rice. It's cilantro lime flavor, and this stuff is designed so that you can just like tear this open and put it in a microwave. That's like, I believe, the recommended cooking directions, but it also has skillet directions on here. And it says with the skillet, you're supposed to put it in a pan and add 2 tablespoons of water. But I'm gonna add this whole can of chili, so I'm not putting any water in there because this is already moist. And I think because with the microwave, if you cook it in the bag, it's kind of sealed up and it creates more steam and whatnot, but I don't know. We're just gonna dump it in there. And I'm a little worried that this all isn't gonna fit. But we'll find out. Rice. Made a little bit of a mess. Trash. Pieces of rice that spilled on the floor. Trash. 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 Alright. Then we're going to go ahead and add our whole can of chili. Fingers crossed this fits. On top of that, we're gonna add this whole can of green chilies. Pop this thing open quick. These were basically expired. Well, I don't want to say expired, but it says best if used by September. So they're a little bit old, but I ain't scared. This will help substitute a little bit of our water also, because these are kind of juicy. If you can see that. A whole can of chilies. That doesn't fit in there. And we're gonna go ahead and mix this up a little bit and get her nice and heated up. That is basically everything that I could fit in that. Crank her on to 3 like I had originally intended. And there we go. So much nicer than having to get my grill out or trying to cook on the jet boil. I have a feeling this is going to cook up very nicely. It's probably going to take a while because this pan's pretty full. We have perfectly controlled electric heat right here. Boy. Well, I think this has had enough time. It's still a lot more like runny than I would hoped for, but we're gonna give it a go anyways, because that's just how we roll. I have a feeling I'm gonna need some paper towels. I don't have any great way to heat up the tortillas, so we're just gonna rock them raw. That's okay. Kind of feeling I need to put these Funyuns just straight on there. We'll give it a whirl first. I've had these before. They remind me a lot of Bugles, the way they taste. Like a nacho cheese bugle. Are Bugles even out anymore? I don't know if those are even still a thing. Either way, we got a little cheese here. So we're gonna just slap some of this on a tortilla. Yeah, that's definitely a little bit more sloppy than I was hoping for. I was hoping that would thicken up a bit more. Maybe better to do the rice and chili separate, but it was much easier for me to do it in one bowl. One pot, I guess you should say. Got a little habanero cheddar on there. We are going to go ahead and just do one of those numbers because I feel like it needs it to thicken it up. Give it a little bit of crunch. Now my hand is all dirty with cheesy chips. And last but not least, I'm losing our paper towel. Last but not least, we're gonna put some of this truffle hot sauce on there because this stuff is very good, and I thought it would taste good with the chili, kind of having like that earthy, it's got an earthy flavor to it. I'm curious. You can definitely taste the cilantro in the rice on there, but give it a decent amount on there. We've got ourselves a very sloppy, I'm sure, chili burrito. Well, I can taste the truffle sauce for sure. I mean, you can really taste like the earthy mushroom flavor out of that. You can definitely taste the cilantro lime, the crunch of the flavor of the Funyuns. That's good stuff. Yeah. Nice and sloppy, just like I said. Wow. That one was definitely spicy. I used quite a bit of sauce on there. Oh, that is very good though. Very, very good. A little bit of spillage. We're just gonna do that over again. I've got quite a bit of chili here. More than I expected, but that rice definitely added a lot to it. So typically around here we do chili and cinnamon rolls. That's like a normal thing, but I figured I'd give it a shot. I know a lot of people eat chili with rice. That's just not the Midwest thing to do here. Definitely should have just crushed them up, but all right, we'll try one without the hot sauce this time. I think the hot sauce is good on there, but it almost overtook the flavor of the chili, I feel like. I put a little bit much on there, but tortillas make everything better. Oh. Got like the inevitable burrito hand where everything's coming out the end. All right, well, I've probably got one burrito's worth of chili left, but I'm just gonna eat this. I don't think I need another tortilla, but we're gonna down this little last bit out of here, and I'll get back to you guys when I get this cleaned up. It's good.
Frescoes in the middle of the 14th century. Recently, the question has been asked, do the frescoes of Tuscany represent Spain?
All right, y'all, I got a little bit distracted cleaning up dinner. My wife called, and then I got to talking to the homie Kyle. We were texting, and he was telling me, we got to talking about the show. I believe it's a Netflix show. It's called Ancient Apocalypse. It's from Graham Hancock. He was also on the Rogan podcast. And anyways, got to talking about that and some spots that they talked about on there. We were looking at maps or whatever, and I recommend that he watched the movie Chariots of the Gods. It's from like 1970, and I found it on YouTube. So now I'm 23 minutes into the movie Chariots of the Gods. It's a documentary from 1970. I'll see if I remember. I'll put the link that I'm watching. I'll put that down below if you guys can want to watch it if you've never seen it. it's a pretty good flick, or documentary, I should say. And it's older, but the information that they go into is pretty cool, and just like the way that you think about what they're talking about, I don't know, it's interesting. It's still raining out there. I've got that cracked. It does drip onto the sides of my onto the tailgate from the top of the window there, but nothing on my bed is getting wet, so not too worried about it. But I'm gonna leave that open for now because it's still pretty nice in here, sipping on my beer. And yeah, I'm gonna keep watching this. I have my tablet, but I'd have to like try to cast it to that, and it's fine on here. I'll just move it a little bit closer.
He represents spaceships.
It's worth the watch, I think.
Yes, they do look a bit like spaceships.
In the first ship, we see a man seated.
Alright, got the window closed up. It's time to crash out. It's still raining. Some high quality H2O. Can you see me? All right, I'm going to bed, y'all. Well, we still have a little bit of rain to listen to. Oh. Good night. Oh, good morning, y'all. Oh, I think it's finally stopped raining. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, my hot plate definitely couldn't boil water that fast. No way. Hot. All right, coffee is served. We got some tasty cakes to have for breakfast. Breakfast of champion, two chocolate iced cupcakes with cream filling. It's basically like a donut, right? I gotta get my tarp taken down. Try to shake the water out of that thing this morning. I'll have to just hang it up somewhere at home for the day. And yeah. Cakes. Yeah, I think it's still sprinkling just a little bit, and you know it's coming off the trees and whatnot, but it's not too bad out here. Get all my trash. I can go up front. I should be able to find a trash can on the way out of this park. Keys, might as well start this thing, get her nice and warm. And I think I'm just gonna fold that up and lay it here for now, since I'm gonna take it inside. There's no reason to put it right back into this bag. There's my poncho from last night. Yeah, I think it's soaking wet. Stoked on the hot plate. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of doing that anytime sooner. And I've mentioned it before that, like, in all my years of camping, I started truck camping in 2015 with the old Silverado. But prior to that, it was all tent camping and motorcycle camping and stuff like that. And there was plenty of times I was at spots like these that had the power poles, the power stands or power outlets at every campsite. And I never ever thought about bringing something that I could plug in until, you know, really a few years ago. And I was like, I can use those too. But part of it was that I never really knew that they had 120 volt outlets. I thought they were all the big 30 amp or 50 amp plugs in all of those things for big campers. So yeah, I mean, you can plug anything you want into them. You paid for the power. So, I don't know. Think about that stuff if you're doing this. Especially if you have places to go with power around here. Like, a vast majority of places you go to all have power, which is nice. But anyways, I think that's about all I can think of to say. I think the coffee is good, it's hot, and yeah. Stay tuned for the next adventure, y'all. I'll see you in a bit.